All right, so today on Under the Hood, I got a video that'll play directly after this. We're going over jump starting, and jump starting is something that everybody thinks they know how to do, but I can't tell you how many times I've pulled up to a shopping center, grocery store, something like that, and people are outside jump starting the car, specifically with men. And, they, like, hey, you guys need a hand? Like, no, we got it. I come out and they're still jump starting the car, and they don't know what they're doing. This is also a useful video for new drivers. Like, if you've got a kid who drives, this is a good video you could probably share with them, just so that if they find themselves in a situation where they need to jump start their vehicle, they have the tools, they know how to do it. It's a great resource. So I'm not going to talk too long. Check out the video. Share it if you think it's valuable. Show it to your kids, show it to your neighbor's kids, show it to your neighbor's kids' friends, show it to everybody. That's what we're trying to do here at Undisputed, is just give you some information, some useful tips, some knowledge, and some peek behind the hood sometimes. So without further ado, here's the video.
All right. Today on Under the Hood, we're going to go over jump starting a vehicle. Seems very basic, but it's a skill that I think a lot of people think they know how to do, but they don't have a lot of confidence in. So I'm going to show you how to jump start a vehicle. Here is our dead vehicle. This is a 250 Chevy Suburban, big 6-liter V8. It's dead. This is my little Ranger. It's a little truck that can. We're going to jump start this big truck with this little Ranger. So first I'll show you what this battery sounds like when it's dead. It's a very typical dead battery sound. It just clicks a lot. That noise is the starter not having the power to turn over the engine because the battery is too weak. So, first thing you got to do, access to the battery, get your jump starting vehicle in a position to where it's going to reach it. And the first thing you're going to need is a great set of jumper cables. I've seen a lot of people's having any jumper cables are better than no jumper cables, but having good jumper cables are completely invaluable. So recommend getting yourself and carrying a good set of jumper cables. These are great because they're really, really long, so in case your car is face forward in a spot and you need to jump start it, these will reach all the way down there. They're also very heavy gauge cables, so just good jumper cables, worth their money. When you need them, you gotta have them. So you're gonna take your cables, and there's a million ways to do this, different orders of operation. This is just the way I do it, and if you do it this way, I guarantee you that you will successfully jump start your car. So I take my two cables that are going to go on the car, and I put them down on the ground so they're not touching. You don't want those to touch. And then you take ends that are going to go on the car. Red is positive, black is negative. And we'll put these on the dead car first, and I do that because it doesn't have a lot of battery power, so if you do accidentally touch the cables together, it's not as big of a deal as if you put it on a car that has a full charge. So if you come over here, this is GM's side terminal battery. They're pretty terrible. They're a little harder to jump start because you don't have great big battery terminals to get a hold of, but same rules apply. So this is the negative. It says negative right here. You can see the little negative sign, and then the terminal is black, so black goes on black. Okay. And then you're gonna take the red one. Red goes on positive. Positive is indicated with the plus sign, and usually the terminal's red. Sometimes, they try to confuse you, and they make that a little more difficult, but rules of thumbs here, right? Okay, so now that one's on, okay? The next thing is the next car. So you have your positive and your negative. You do not want to touch these together because theoretically there is some voltage running through here. So you take your negative, put it on your negative. Actually, we'll do positive first. Do your positive first, then come over here to your negative, put it on there. Sometimes you gotta wiggle these things because corrosion builds up on the terminals, and you know, make sure these things are getting a good contact. Okay, now that all this stuff's connected, we're good to go. I'm going to start this vehicle. A couple things before I start this vehicle. With a really dead battery, which this one's not super dead, like if you turn the key and you're not getting any lights, any noises, anything, sometimes you're gonna have to let this vehicle run for 5, 10, even as high as 15, 20 minutes sometimes to get it to jump start. But we won't have to do that here today, hopefully. So, when you're good vehicle, you come in, start it up. Double check your terminals, that's good. They're still attached, so we're good. See, it didn't want to start, so we need to let it sit for just 1 minute. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but it's tried to crank, and then it wouldn't start. But it's a little better than before. We're just gonna hang out for a minute, let this do its thing. This vehicle started right off. Another thing to keep in mind is even though this vehicle just started, you want to leave these cables attached for a couple minutes just because it still doesn't have enough voltage in the system. So just let them sit there for a couple minutes. This is when you can thank the person that jump started your car. Oh, you're so nice. Let it sit. Once that's done, you let a couple minutes pass. You're going to come over here and you're going to take off the terminals. Take off positive or negative, it doesn't matter. You just hold one, with the other one hang, you're good. Come over here, same thing. That one's off, that one's off. We're jump started. So that's how you jump start a vehicle. It's really basic, it's really simple, if you know what you're doing. It's a skill that everybody should have. So that's Under the Hood for today. That's how you jump start a vehicle. Thank you guys.